So another area besides Mean Girls that Hernandez discusses are these Lolita discourses. So Lolita refers back to the novel, and there have been a number of instances in popular culture, including the movie Lolita, that invoke that novel and um, that sensibility. Lolita stands for a sexually commodified girlhood. So in addition to the movie Lolita, there were a number of other instances, including a movie called The Professional that starred a very young Natalie Portman that people sort of referred to in the Lolita context. Um, the sexy little girl is a familiar figure in popular culture, according to Hernandez. Um, she can be a nymphette, which is the term that Hernandez uses. In some cases, there are scantily clad children in music videos that's been pointed out as problematic, or the kind of sexy teeny bopper. You might think of early Britney Spears as fitting into this category. What Hernandez says is Lolita invokes the specter of pedophilia. Uh, and even though it's about sort of active female sexuality, it's still a child, and that's still troubling and disturbing in many ways. It empowers young girls to use their sexuality. However, it is largely viewed as sort of inappropriate and borderline pedophilia. I don't know how many of you are familiar with either Maddie Ziegler, who used to be a cast member of Dance Moms when she was part of that dance studio. She's gone on to film a number of Sia videos, including this one. And when this video came out, people were really disturbed. So that's a very young Maddie. I think she was something like 12. And then that's an adult Shia LaBeouf, which is it was weird if you've ever seen the video. We don't have to watch it as a part of this, but you could Google it if you want. Maddie has appeared in a number of Sia videos in differing scenarios, but this one was the one that people found most disturbing. There was actually quite a bit of press about it. So here you see Entertainment Weekly. Sia went on to apologize. This is an article from Yahoo. And here was her tweet. Initially, she distanced herself and said it wasn't such a big deal, but it was pretty clear that people were pretty turned off by it, and she went on to apologize. So for Hernandez, there are a few post-feminist conceptions of femininity. So there's the strong, empowered, successful girl. There's the aggressive, violent girl, sometimes physically, but often not. And then the beautiful, sexy Lolita. Those are kind of her conceptions of how post-feminism deals with femininity. Relative to Toddlers and Tiaras, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. Toddlers and Tiaras could shape young girls and their parents' perceptions of how a true, beautiful, feminine child should act. So that's certainly one possible outcome of this show. But another is this kind of disturbing girlhood that the show seems to promote, or at least the activity that the show is documenting seems to promote. Definitely could result in a very harsh judgment of both the young girls being featured and the mothers that are pushing them. So there's a whole weirdness that comes out as a result of this show that I would argue is probably the more dominant interpretation of Toddlers and Tiaras. Of course, someone watching Toddlers and Tiaras that's already a part of that community might not see anything problematic at all, might seem perfectly normal and appropriate to them. So in that sense, the show could be interpreted in that first way.